there is somebody on the Browns, Andrew Berry, Jimmy has him, that wants him there. It's been quite the entertaining week. And before we get into our weekly installment of reading your comments, I have to thank y'all. This has been a really great week for me. We've been doing a lot of high level videos. And I want y'all to know that that level of content, I only aim to make it bigger and bigger and bigger and more in depth, bring more receipts. But, the fact that, I see the engagement, I see the comments that y'all leave, the Brian Daboll video, the Dylan Gabriel video, like I want y'all to know that at the end of the day, I'm here to bring y'all the reality, right? I am biased towards Shedeur. Y'all know I rock with that. I'm also biased towards my Texans, but I also get here and tell y'all how miserable they are. I'm going to tell y'all the truth, and I'm going to bring y'all the facts. So I appreciate y'all rocking and rolling with me. But let's get into probably some of y'all's favorite video. I got to be honest with you, and that's reading some comments. So like we do every single time, we start with the comment reading video from last week. I am required, contractually obligated to read every single comment on this video. That means if you leave a comment on this video you're watching right at this very moment, in a week I will be reading it again. So let's not dilly nor dally. Let's get right into it. Confidence Builders TV says, I'm so confused. Clearly Shedeur could fill their stadiums and he seems to love the city. Why do they want to disrespect him and make him hate them so that he leaves the minute he gets to free agency? And thank you so much for this comment. I want to stress the thing about the fact that he loves this city. Guys, it's easy to be in Ohio. It's easy to be in Cleveland, Ohio, and not find positivity, to not continue to give back to communities. And since Shedeur has gotten there, he's smiling, he's happy, he's reaching out. Like, the way that certain people talk about Shedeur Sanders, you would think that he's like, you would just see him sitting on the bench sad, that you would see him over here sad. Maybe is Shedeur pouting and stuff like that. We never see that. And not only do we not see that, we see him giving away cars to the community, giving signed jerseys to the community. Matter of fact, now y'all already saw, we already made, we didn't make a full video, but we when we did our Brian Daboll video, we talked about Shedeur giving the car away. Again, that was something he was been working on for a month, but this was something I had no idea. Shout out to my man. I say your name wrong every time, but y'all know he's one of the trusted sources. If you're a CU guy, Shedeur guy, is it Gucci? Is it Goose? I called him Gooch one time. He checked me on Twitter, I think. So all I know is this right here. He does really good content. A lot of respectable people follow him, by the way. So this is Shedeur Sanders giving a autographed jersey to his main man. Let's hear it.
I want to make a TikTok with him.
You want to make a TikTok with who?
Shedeur! And I want an autograph.
We might get you an autograph.
You got a package.
I do? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
you got a package.
Oh, right. Let me sit
Homie got the fresh retwist. Okay, I see you, little homie. Big little homie.
You gotta pull this here. Pull this.
that. There's the beginning.
Hold on, what's in there? Oh, wow.
Just a new one.
Turn it around. What's on the back?
What do you mean?
What it say? What it say?
Happy birthday.
Oh my God.
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh,
Nah, man.
he said happy birthday, Juju.
Look. I don't know, and I feel like maybe that's the reason why I'm a big Shedeur fan. I have younger siblings, right? I have a soft spot for little kids and their appreciation for life. And Shedeur has talked about, hey, these are young people who are so fresh to the world, and the jaded and some of the expectations that you might see from a regular adult who's been beat down by the world and has all these judgments to cast on the world. It's something that these little kids don't have, right? And it's easy to be on Twitter and be like, well, Shedeur's not starting, so you want a signed jersey of some dude that's not starting? It's not about that. And I think a lot of people in the Browns media, that not even Browns media or Browns fans, I think they don't get that it's not about that. I think that they think it's that these football players value only relies on if they're good on the football field. And Shedeur Sanders has consistently shown that he's more than that, right? He means something to this kiddo, right? He means something to me. He means something to a lot of people who look like him growing up, that would love to be confident, that would love to smile, that would love to be as unapologetically themselves as possible. So, you know, when we have these conversations, and I hope I've converted some Shedeur haters. I really do. I hope there's some people who are honestly just misguided and misunderstood about what Shedeur stands for, but you consistently see what he's about. He's about giving back. He's about, you know, uplifting those and being happy in that situation and in all situations. Hold up, camera switch. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing. So that's what I want to focus on. He loves this city and gives back to Cleveland City. And I gotta be honest with you, before Shedeur made it to the Browns, I couldn't tell you two things about Cleveland, Ohio. I gotta be honest with you, right? So, you know, that's a great thing. Great comment as well. Why do they want to disrespect him and make them? Oh, I already kind of answered that. Again, I think the only value they see in these young men is if they're good on the football field. All right, let's get to some lightning rounds. All right, G Lad said the troglodytes. Hey, I pulled out troglodyte is one of my favorite words. Shout out Painkiller already, PKA. That's where I got that from. Obviously, I know it's a real word, but that's where I got it into my nomenclature when I was watching a podcast. Y'all don't know what that is. It's an old Call of Duty podcast. I know. Troglodytes don't realize how asinine it makes them look when they talk about the circumstances of Shedeur Sanders being drafted in the 5th round when Brock Purdy was drafted late, $250 million. Tom Brady, GOAT. They wanted Lamar Jackson to be a wide receiver and a running back, multiple league MVP, highest completion percentage ever historically. Wanted Jalen Hurts to switch positions. Pause. That's crazy. Multiple Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl MVP. Too often the NFL has proven they aren't pragmatic with evaluating quarterbacks. I cannot say that any better myself. That this is a sentiment that I've hold clear. Do not come with me about 5th round, 6th round, XYZ, elemental P when we've seen some of the biggest stars right now, you know, come from smaller beginnings and maybe not so advantageous draft spots. So, is this sorry, YouTube messed up the update they made to y'all so I don't know what this is. Chanel Laskew. I don't know. Maybe you didn't even want to do that, but let me read your comment. It says, I honestly think this is a classic corporate psychology issue. Okay, whenever corporate America determines that someone is not a corporate fit, they are unable and unwilling to see that person in an asset. That's why I see with Kevin Stefanski and Dylan Gabriel. Dylan is considered a corporate fit. Kevin Stefanski will not play Shedeur because he doesn't see him as a corporate fit or an asset. I think Shedeur is better off being traded to another corporation where he's viewed as an asset. And I think this has been a very consistent thing that I've been seeing in my comment section. And I gotta say, y'all been pretty spot on this juxtaposition of, you know, what typical you know, white collar job, typical corporate America looks like, and oftentimes what, you know, specifically our culture has had to kind of bend and evolve to kind of match this mold that people who have been doing this since the 1800s, right? They set the mold, and they want us with, you know, after, you know, taking our resources, taking our education, you know, crippling a lot of the things that we had make whole. Anytime we created something, they came and destroyed it, blew it up. We don't have to talk about Oklahoma City. We ain't got to go. Again, this is a football channel. We ain't got to go too deep, right? But what I will say is that I think that the comparisons are apt. But I do want to say, hey, let's also make sure that as we make these comparisons, we also see those differences as well. I think Shedeur, in the fact that he can be traded, gives him a little bit of leeway to hopefully find bigger and better operations. And I will push back to say, I think there is a possibility that there is somebody on the Browns office, and I'm talking about Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam, that wants him there. I guarantee you, if not, he'd be cut. If not, he'd be on the practice squad. So that there is a little bit of hope there. So Leanne, who, shout out to her, man. Sometimes I shout out commenters that are on every video. She is on every video showing support. Shout out her, Leanne, and comment down below if I'm saying any y'all's name wrong. Let me know. This again, it's weird. It's a different thing. So 1507. Worse, all the Shedeur fans will come in and take over the fandom and change the culture. My thing is, good. Browns 12 have been a laughing stock. And I think, okay, so I just want to read that. And now this is what you're saying. Yes, The gaslighting is next level. His slide had nothing to do with his skill set. Oh, okay, maybe this is not what she was. It does not sound like it was what she's referencing, but I will answer to this. Had nothing to do with skill set. Therefore, his projected draft grade is what it is, first round. If that wasn't the case, it wouldn't have been considered a slide. It wouldn't have been a story. The argument that he was always trash doesn't make any sense. These people are irrational. And I want to bring something up real quick. I brought this up in the video we made about I believe this was this video never even released. Okay, good, because I made some extra videos on stream and I didn't release, so I'm happy we get to talk about this. And I do want to talk about that comment because from the onset of that happening, the reason why I want y'all to know, if Shedeur Sanders had fell to the 3rd round or the 2nd round, I want y'all to know he wouldn't be this popular. and I think some Browns fans don't get that. I think some anti-Shedeur people don't get that. If he just slid to the 2nd and 3rd round, I think most people, including myself, would have been like, oh, maybe he wasn't as valued as we thought. Dang, maybe he did do bad in those interviews. Okay. But when you look at things like this, and this is CFB numbers, shout out to anybody who was with me when I was CFB things. I use him. He does a lot of numbers. He does post numbers and stuff like that. Good data points, right? This data point that he mapped out was that Shedeur Sanders dropped to 144 was the biggest difference in draft spot versus ESPN pre-draft ranking amongst the top 40 quarterbacks since 2004. This is the entire top 10. So it is the biggest, like no doubt, no ham, jam, snam, 109 spot difference. This is not something that is just normal, right? It is by all definition an outlier of what we thought, right? We've seen. Look, I've been watching football for a while. I remember when Laramie Tunsil magically had a gas mask on. I remember when not Malik, but what's his name? He's on here. Malik Willis. I remember when Malik Willis started calming down. It's very possible when a player gets overhyped, right? And the fall happens. But I want y'all to know that this is historic. We've never seen anything like this. That leads me to think that there's something else going on larger than that. So I don't want y'all to think that like I am just I'm a Texans fan that happens to be a Shedeur fan. Like I'm not here preaching this because I need Shedeur to be amazing or need to be great. No, I think this is probably the biggest story in the NFL that the NFL created. But continuing on, Leanne, I probably read this before, but we will stand 10 toes behind Shedeur. Shiloh, it's bigger than football. We're here because this is where he is, and they can really stay mad about it. I love that. I love that, the attitude that it comes with. Shedeur needs to convince O to come out early so the Browns can draft him. Kid is a stud. Let's talk about a little bit of college football. Omarion Miller is an absolute dog, right? And Omarion Miller, who actually played with Shedeur, his freshman year, I believe, was the 2023 year, but he had injuries, and then no, he played a little bit. He was true freshman. Then Shedeur's last year, he was hurt a lot, so he didn't really get to play. This year was supposed to be his breakout year. Obviously, the quarterback position has been up and down. Now that man Juju Lewis get in there, he starts slinging that iron. He started lighting Omarion Miller up again, and I think it's so funny. Because, whether no matter, because this season's not going great for Colorado and stuff like that. But my God, if he can't produce NFL talent, Jordan Seaton is still considered to be one of the best tackles in the league. Guys, I don't know if y'all remember Deion. That's a high school player. Remember the type of players y'all said Deion Sanders didn't get? Omarion Miller. I forgot. I believe Omarion might be a transfer. I think I'm speaking out of line, but Omarion's been there for a while. There's another top tier wide receiver talent. The Colorado Buffalo sent the most amount of wide receivers through the draft last year. So you can say a lot of things about Deion, and I've said a lot of things about Deion. The clock management, Pat Schumer, right? His decisions with offensive coordinators, offensive play calling. We can criticize, and I have. But I think in all that criticism, we're missing the fact that not Shedeur, but Deion Sanders is producing NFL level talent consistently. Like I mean, at this point, like Xavier Weaver's still in the league, guys. Like what's the conversation we're having? But I think that's interesting. All right, we got to speed through these. We've been yapping a lot on these. All right, The good Lord, and this is Roderick White, says the good Lord got that family. They going to weather the storm. God got a bigger plan than you telling facts, big dog. I appreciate the support so much. Hales says Shedeur could start for the Saints, Jets, Panthers, Dolphins, Cardinals. That's the question I got for you. Comment down below if you don't have a comment to comment. Comment down below, what team do you think Shedeur could start for right now? I think Jets is an easy one. I think you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to look me in the face and tell me that he can't beat Justin Fields and just throw the football to somebody. Competition. Like, I could beat Justin Fields in that competition. But that's not the point. A lot of band says, Tings, why is a first-round graded quarterback who was a true dog, accurate maniac, not get a chance with the first team? After helping a receiver win Heisman and others get to the league, it makes no sense. A lot of people are replying. And this is because you're looking at it backwards. Hunter helped Shedeur. Nah. We ain't here for all that. We ain't gonna do all that. We ain't doing that. But yeah, I think that the reason, I think because Travis Hunter won, what's it called? Because Travis Hunter won the Heisman, I think that gives people reason to disqualify what Shedeur did. But that, I'm gonna leave it there. I see you with the Paul Crew jersey. Yeah, come on, Mean Machine. Y'all can't see it because I got a weird green screen thing. Mean Machine, one of my favorite movies of all time. I love me a good old football movie. I'm sorry about it. Longest Yard. What's that one with Vin Diesel in the kids in the little situation? Somebody gets shot. I don't want to spoil it for you. Even the game plan with I said Vin Diesel with The Rock. What's it called? Like, I love me some good old football movies. That's some of my favorite stuff. The wildest team that Shedeur can possibly start for is the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I know. I'm a Panthers fan, and it's crazy for me saying that. When you look at it realistically, it wouldn't be a bad idea. This is Bryce Young's third season, and he really hasn't progressed well. He makes plays in the clutch time, but he hasn't been tested by his backups. If he had someone to bring him in a good challenge like Shedeur, our passing game can look a lot different. Yeah, it's a pipe dream, but it makes sense as well. WVid Tings. All right, back in business. 440 Vikings. Did I ask y'all this last? Wait, did I ask y'all this in this video?
Shedeur could start for. Comment that.
Okay. All right. Let me reframe that. I asked y'all the same thing last time. Don't pretend I didn't ask y'all that question. This is the question I want to ask y'all then. What's your favorite Shedeur Sanders moment? Comment that down below. Sorry. I asked y'all the same thing twice. I see you with the Paul Grew. First off, let me give you a like. Shout out to my man Trizzy. Trizzy's always here. He says Vikings. Interesting. My man 9. What happened to my man 9? Lamel, I read the comment section before watching. This is going to be interesting. While this team Shedeur could start for, the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Penix, count your days. Has them started 12 on game 2. The stadium would be sold out each game, win or lose. Shedeur only needs pass protection. And now the Browns tickets are going for like $6. The Browns tickets cost less than McDonald's right now. I would say if he was in a true quarterback competition for training camp, he could have started for the Browns, Saints, Raiders, and the Jets. I'm not mad at that. In simple terms, they're trying to buck break this kid. That's why so many of us are up in arms. We know the drill. We've seen the playbook for a generation, and we refuse to allow this kid to suffer in silence. We know he need to stay silent. And to a lesser extent, so does his dad. They set up the narrative. He's a meddling soccer dad, so he can't go off like he wants to. So we as a collective are standing in the gap. Notice that most of us are aggressively outspoken, are older, usually 40s and above, because we are having our parental maternal instincts triggered. We are stepping in for prime the way we hope someone else would step. I feel a type of way about this because I read the comments. I read these comments and I know how old and I know my demographics. Y'all are less younger than me. I don't like saying older. Y'all are yet less young than me, right? And this comment really sums up kind of some of the things I was talking about with the draft fall, where like some people need to understand that like there's a lot of people who are beyond passionate. Right? There's people who see this and have seen this play 1,000 times. And there's so many people who are in my comments that might detest and might say, oh, this or that, XYZ, elemental P. It's like, dog, y'all don't have the experiences that we have. And I don't have the experiences of these. I get educated by people in my audience that immediately said buck breaking. I wasn't even thinking about that. When I was like, oh man, there's something going on. But the fact that I have older or less younger people in my audience that immediately put me onto that, I started thinking about it. This public shame, this public humiliation, the level of drop, the way that it's been handled, the amount of news coverage that was before and post, it does seem like they might be trying to tell Arch Manning something. It might seem like they trying to tell any other aspiring NIL player that, hey, big dog, you not bigger than the program. I promise you that. But it is what it is. I appreciate your comment. I really do. Reggie says, my issue is DG is not ready. He is a pawn in Stefanski's play. I agree. Stefanski's potentially ruining Dylan's potential playing for any team. DG is not the QB1. Guys, that is where, like, I think that some of the issues start spurring up for me. Okay, we're at the end here. Okay, good. Okay, we can end it now. We're going to end it here. So one of my biggest issues with this entire situation really has to be the fact that, not that DG is playing bad, it's the fact that, again, guys, they handpicked him. They said he was ready before they even got on the field. As a Shedeur fan, I was expecting Dylan Gabriel to play okay. I got to be honest with you. And y'all know me. And that's what's so crazy. Like, if you actually watch my videos, I have been a Dylan Gabriel supporter. And some of my audience member does not like when I speak positive of Dylan Gabriel, but I continue to do it because, hey, it's a football channel. I like good hoops. And Dylan Gabriel in Oregon, those are some good hoops. Now, we're not going to talk about what he did to my Texas Longhorn team. We ain't gotta go down that rabbit hole, right? But he's put up some decent numbers, and he has a historical college football season career in a similar way that Shedeur has. Man, I genuinely feel bad for him. And that's not me joking. This is not me trying to prove a point. I feel bad for somebody. Like, I love the underdog. Drew Brees, right? Doug Flutie's, right? Even, I wouldn't say Randall Cunningham, but either oddities, like people who probably shouldn't be doing it, or maybe underdogs. Like that gets me going, right? If you're short, I like Bryce Young. I know he pointed out Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young because he is shorter. Because he has to overcome has a weak arm. Like, those are stories that I like. So, DG, if he came out slinging, oh, hey, man, I'm like, I guess we got to get a DG jersey. But that's not going to diminish my passion for Shedeur. It ain't going to do that. But I genuinely thought he would be good enough to go out there and be serviceable, and that's not what's happening. All right, so here we go. Still don't believe it will ever happen. I pray they would trade him last week. $1 on the dollar for the hatred they have been giving him. The Browns will say that now. They do the same thing again. It says Sanders could start for the Cardinals. Brissett not guaranteed for next year, and neither is Kyler. And now they're saying that Kyler Murray might get traded to the Browns. So that's interesting. At FB Tings, DG did this Shedeur. Shedeur got a song talking about perfect timing, and DG made that perfect timing comment. Sneak this. We've talked about this, guys. Even if you would, like, I give DG, because again, I'm fair. I have to give Dylan Gabriel the same benefit of the doubt that I want to afford Shedeur. Because remember, Dylan Gabriel is not the enemy. I need to make sure we talk about this. He has just gotten caught in the crossfire, and his comments are probably lit up. There's probably negative comments about Dylan Gabriel. So that's why I don't want to be another source of negativity for Dylan Gabriel. He is also a rookie quarterback dealing with the fucking Browns, dealing with Kevin Stefanski. His life is hard enough, I promise you. So I don't think we need to like think about it or reach deep into it. And then on top of that, if you watch my watch along, so you be there, be square. Today we're doing that at 4:00 because the Browns game's at 4:00. If you watch our NFL watch alongs or watch parties, you can actually see that the Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel, at least on the sideline, it's a pretty positive relationship. They dap each other up. They talk about plays. They yada yada. They're laughing and giggling and all this other stuff. So like, I don't think we need to attribute any more negativity towards that young man because we have a young man who's getting a ton of negativity. You feel me? But I see where you're coming from. The Lions. Okay. Jared Goff. Your commenters never watched Shedeur play. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Stop this 2026 narrative. Interesting. Sad. Trade me to anybody if I was Shedeur. Rico Lamal, pump it up. What? I believe they don't want number 12 Sanders to break any of the rookie records. That's why they sabotaged this year. He's so good, he can break a bunch of different records, and they don't want him broken. That's what I believe, because when you come in, he's going to break records. They don't want him at a rookie record at the same time. Okay, interesting. When are you going to make a video about Leroy Horde's dumb comments? I need to check that out. Somebody, I'll check that out. I might have actually done that. And then he definitely sneaked this Shedeur again. Hey, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was a mistake. He was nervous, blah, blah, blah. I think there's enough negativity out there. We don't got to double down on that negativity. But I appreciate y'all leaving these comments. It's an absolute, I mean, every single time these videos get longer and longer. This is 119 comments. I'm also going to make another comment reading video, not because I'm going to be gone this weekend. Actually, I'll be here, but y'all, this has been such a big week that I'm going to go react to some of my regular video comments. So I'm going to go in here, read some of these as well, give y'all shine, and make sure that I get to the comments that sometimes I don't get to respond to. But I cannot thank y'all enough for giving me the opportunity to even do videos like this. I mean, I think it's dope that y'all enjoy commenting and having this discourse, having the conversation. I just really hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and hope you have a great one. Like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like football content, and we'll see you next time. Peace.